Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5:30.
We begin with breaking news as the North Dakota Department of Health is now confirming 2 more people have tested positive for COVID-19. That brings the total in the state to 3. One of those new cases is the first one for Cass County. She's a woman in her 20s who also has a history of international travel, according to health officials. The other case is a man in his 60s from Ward County. So far, 223 North Dakotans have now been tested for COVID-19. 31 people are currently being monitored for symptoms. In Minnesota, over 2,000 people have been tested. The number of confirmed cases has jumped from 54 to 60.
Positive news is that these were contact travel related spread, and so we do not have yet any confirmed proof of community spread, which means that people may have been infected in the virus in the area, including some who are not sure or how or where they became infected. The public health investigation will continue.
House has approved $200 million to combat the disease. It will allocate $150 million for new healthcare response fund. The State Department of Health will make grants for healthcare providers to use while fighting COVID-19. That includes testing services. The other $50 million will go toward ambulance services, clinics, hospitals, and long-term care facilities. Earlier today, President Donald Trump and Vice President Mike Pence gave an update on federal action being taken to help the coronavirus pandemic, and includes more policies for nationwide testing and an expansion of medical services. Currently, there are more than 5,200 cases and 92 fatalities in the U.S. Trump also gave another option for patients to receive care.
Today, we're also announcing a dramatic expansion of our Medicare telehealth services. Medicare patients can now visit any doctor by phone or video conference at no additional cost, including with commonly used services like FaceTime and Skype, a historic breakthrough.
South Dakota's governor says they now have 11 confirmed cases and schools will remain closed. For more information on local and state closings, head over to our VNL News app. And lawmakers are reacting to the coronavirus pandemic as the travel ban, the cancellations of events in schools are now impacting their local communities. North Dakota Senator Kevin Cramer weighed in on how he feels the president is handling the spread of COVID-19.
The very low mortality rate that we're experiencing in the United States versus other parts of the world, I think tells you that the quick action and the bold action by President Trump in restricting travel, for example, from China, while he was being criticized for overreacting, has proven to be a very good, wise call early on.
Cramer says now is the time to look at regulatory issues and how a recovery can take place faster. Sounds like a quiet spell is ending and some precipitation is ready to move into the region. Hutch has more from the First Alert Storm Team Center. Hutch.
Thanks so much, Kelly. As we take a look at our Skycam network shot from the Dakota Magic Casino location, there's some showers showing up on the radar down there. Not a lot of this making its way down to the ground, but certainly it is cloudy there while we have blue skies here in Fargo. Notice that band of snow showing up on the radar, but temperatures here at the ground are warm enough for rain. So it looks like we're going to start seeing this continue to spread its way northward right now. None of this actually making its way all the way down to the ground. And if it is making its way down the ground, a chance of it mainly being rain here in the south. Overnight, though, that's not the case. As we'll see snow develop and push northward, your morning commute in the Northern Valley will have some accumulation of snow. But for this evening, expect increasing clouds. The wind won't be too bad, and our best chance at seeing the onset of any of this, Cali will hold off until after midnight here in Fargo. It'll be a little later than that to the north in Grand Forks. We'll have details on this, and we'll have more on the track of the storm system for Thursday through the nation's midsection here in just a minute.
Thanks, Hutch. The sun was nice while it lasted.
It feels good.
And for the second day in a row, authorities report a rash of break-ins near local gyms and daycares in the metro. The Fargo Police Department believes these crimes are linked to the felony Lane gang and that those involved are targeting gyms and daycares in the metro. These smash and grab crimes are happening between 5 and 6:30 in the morning at gyms and from 6 to 8 a.m. at daycares. Police suggest removing all valuables from your vehicle, including purses, wallets, phones, and laptops. If you see any suspicious activity, dial 111 immediately. And keep on keeping on. That's the motto for many in the Valley as we continue to push through this hard time. Some community members are thanking local businesses for keeping their shelves stocked with supplies. I talked with some people who say it's all going to be okay.
This is all the stuff that goes like beef sticks, beef jerky.
Jason Ahmed and his crew at Meats by John and Wayne have had their hands full.
And it's usually stacked up to here.
They've gone through 800 pounds of meat in the last 3 days. That's typically what they go through in a span of 2 weeks.
You have to keep going and keep going until you can't go anymore.
Ahmed is one of the many trying to keep his customers happy and calm.
They have a good variety and the quality has always been good, very good.
It's not just us working, it's the community and everybody teaming together. If everybody just teams up, we'll get through it a lot faster. You get to see new faces and meet new people, and then which in turn just leads to new customers down the road.
And another place that's been busy stocking their shelves is Happy Harry's in Fargo.
But we've been able to maintain it. We've worked with our distributors and our suppliers to make sure that the supply lines are full.
Both companies say they're doing everything they can to keep things clean and normal.
I hope all this ruckus blows over fast so we don't have to stay quarantined all the time.
In Fargo, Callie Hubbard, Valley News Live. Happy Harry's says they've been wiping down their stores 3 times a day. To learn more about company hours at these locations, visit our Valley News Live app. And we have breaking news out of Bismarck, where the Superintendent of Public Instruction, Kirsten Baszler, says the governor is looking into an executive order that would have school districts explore alternative approaches, specifically online learning, given coronavirus concerns. Baszler says that there is no state law currently allowing the state to require districts to do so. Baszler says the goal is to come up with a plan that continues learning and keeps North Dakotans safe. There is no plan currently to extend the current closure for schools in the state beyond the end of the week. Earlier today, Governor Doug Burgum announced that K-12 schools closed this week will not have to make up instructional time. And West Fargo Public Schools are pulling together to help feed the children in our community. They spent the morning passing out free breakfast and lunch to families due to the COVID-19 school closures. They'll be doing this each morning for the rest of the week. It's for kids up to age 18, and those kids must be present to get these meals. Many people stopped by South Elementary in West Fargo expressing how thankful they are for the opportunity. School officials are saying they're happy to help.
We've had a lot of staff and others willing to step in and help, and we know that we help feed that need during the school year of feeding them breakfast and lunch, and so in this time we're really excited to be able to help.
If you're stopping by for a meal, you should look for a yellow school bus at these locations. The ongoing distribution of meals depends on whether schools are closed after this week. We'll post the full list of locations and pickup times on our website and on our Valley News Live app. And even the biggest mall in Minnesota and one of the largest in the world is not immune to the impacts of the coronavirus. The Mall of America closed today at 5 p.m. Officials say they will remain closed through at least March 31st due to the fallout over COVID-19 and concerns about playing a role in the potential spreading of the virus. The mega mall's decision comes less than 24 hours after Governor Tim Walz ordered all bars and restaurants in Minnesota to close. Coronavirus fears have led to an increase in gun sales across the country. Gun shop owners say in addition to sales increasing, they're also seeing lots of first-time gun buyers. The FBI's background checks for gun purchases totaled $2.8 million nationally in February, a 36% jump compared to the same month in 2019. It's the largest year-over-year percentage spike since 2016, but coronavirus fears may not be the only reason for the uptick in gun sales. Officials say gun sales tend to rise in presidential election years. And while officials in Ohio have postponed their primary today, voters are still going to the polls in 3 critical states, despite concerns over the coronavirus. Jay Gray has the details.
At the end, it'll tell you to print your ballot.
It's a place where social distancing and civic duty collide. Coronavirus has shut down a lot of things, but not polling places in Arizona, Illinois, or Florida.
Well, we still got to vote. Life still got to go on. We just got to be safe.
Voters are wearing gloves and bringing their own pens. And while some poll workers skip their shifts, those that did show up say they're prepared.
They've been briefed about making sure that the voters, you wipe down the spaces that they're voting in, and also the tablet where they sign in. So I think we're in good shape.
The illness has postponed the vote in Ohio, where the governor says his state is fighting an unprecedented health crisis.
Is it a perfect decision? No, absolutely not. It does preserve people's constitutional rights, and it does not require them to choose between their health and exercising their constitutional right.
A right that brings with it now a requirement to stay safe.
I probably will go home and wash my hands first thing.
A choice everyone can agree with on Election Day. Jay Gray, NBC News.
And still ahead tonight, hospitals that can barely keep up with coronavirus cases are bracing for more patients.
But next, we have some Wednesday snow in your forecast. I'll have hour-by-hour details on when it starts for you, how much you can expect, and we'll look ahead towards the first full weekend of spring next.